Most email marketing agencies and freelancers are stuck below the $10,000 a month revenue mark because they can't charge higher ticket prices. In my agency, FlowCandy, we frequently charge clients $5,000 a month, $10,000 a month, sometimes even $15,000 a month. And in today's video, I'm going to walk you through how you can do the same with better positioning. Let's dive in. So guys, in the description below, I have a link to this flow map that you can view yourself that I'm going to walk through. And in today's video, I'm mostly going to talk about why positioning matters so much to being able to charge higher ticket prices. Okay. And if you've watched any of my videos before, all right, I talk about this a lot. Okay. I talk a lot about how there's 4 stages of the market. All right. There's the entrepreneurial segment, there's the SMB segment, there's the mid-market segment, and there's the enterprise segment. Entrepreneurial brands are brands doing under $1 million in revenue. SMB, small to medium-sized businesses, these are businesses doing between 1 to 10 million. Mid-market is like kind of 10 to 30 million at the lower end. At the upper end of the mid-market would be almost like billion-dollar companies that everyone wants to work with. And at least in my niche e-commerce, like the Groons, the Athletic Greens, they're kind of like probably doing anywhere between at the upper end, almost like $500 million and have these in revenue and have these like billion-dollar valuations and are targets for like Procter & Gamble, Unilever to acquire. And then obviously you have the enterprise, which is like the Microsofts, the Googles, the Unilevers, the Procter & Gambles, these huge, massive companies with thousands of people on their payroll, and maybe have like a large international presence and a large retail footprint all over the world. And why I start here is because pricing is different in every single one of these levels. Okay, most of you guys starting out, like you're working with entrepreneurial clients doing under $1 million in revenue. And it's hard for them to justify spending over $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, sometimes a month in email marketing services. So in today's video, I'm going to walk you through how you can get to a much more clear, better position that can charge and command and demand these higher ticket prices. Okay. So a lot of times when I work with these email marketing agencies, email marketing freelancers, they kind of think they have a leads problem, like I don't have enough leads. I don't have enough leads. But the reality is most of them have a positioning problem first. They don't really understand their position. They don't understand this, like what stage of the market, the types of customers they're targeting. And they don't understand, if they even do that, they don't understand how to build an ICP, like an ideal customer profile. Okay. So this is really, really important. In my agency, FlowCandy, we have, this is like the Bible. Okay. We have a full document that tracks all of this, that we know the gender, the company, the tech stack, the location, the pain points of our ICP, their dreams, what frustrates them, what content they engage with, what results look like for them, what their results look like for their boss. So we have all of this mapped out, and it's really helped us understand the pain points and the outcomes and the dreams of the market and position ourselves so we can charge higher prices. Okay. And so really, really important you start here. Okay. And what this allows you to do, if you can really come up with some niche sort of stuff here, you can then come up with like niche positioning. All right. Now, the old way, all right, so this is what most people I see, most freelancers and agencies are doing, is they choose this formula like I help X get Y in Z amount of time. This is a great formula. It works, but in crowded markets with where I'm seeing the email marketing space today, it kind of falls flat, And so that's why you see a lot of people, if you get on LinkedIn, you get on Upwork, and you're like, you'll see this a lot. Like a lot of your competitors, if you're a freelancer watching this, you're an agency, you might even be positioned like this. I help D2C brands increase their sales with email marketing. I help brands increase their sales with retention marketing, something like this sort of hook. Okay. There are so many people doing this right now, and it's commoditized. Okay. And because it's commoditized, it's very hard, especially if you're going after entrepreneurial clients, to get over these $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 engagements. And don't get me wrong, there are some people that are positioned like this that are doing well, but they're also at scale. Like they've been doing this for 5, 10 years sometimes, and they've got a lot of case studies and social proof racked up where they can kind of stick with this more broad positioning. But if you're at 10K right now, or right around $10,000 a month, and you're trying to get to $30,000 a month, I want to show you a better way, okay? A better way to position yourself. And so this is what I call the category of one formula. I've also, I had a mentor once who called it, Austin Nelsey from 2X, he called it something similar where it was like, you are best in the world at this one thing. So you are best in the world at this particular niche within the email marketing realm, okay? So I've given this example before where it's like, we create an instantly clear and differentiated headline. We declare what the problem is, and we come up with 3 reasons why we're different, okay? So the one I have here is, instead of just being, we help D2C brands increase their sales with email marketing, we help fashion brands double their revenue with newsletters. The problem is fashion brands need consistent campaigns for drops, seasons, inventory shifts. They need unique segments. Most brands lack the strategy, workflow, and bandwidth to turn newsletters into consistent revenue. Why are we different? We only work with fashion. We're focused on newsletters, and we have a money-back guarantee. Okay. Now, just because you're focused on the newsletters doesn't mean you necessarily. Someone asked me this once. Hey, Will, does that mean I don't do flows for these clients? No, you can still do the flows. It's just like you're focused on newsletters. And this, keep in mind, this is just an example I'm using. Okay. But this formula, like if you are a fashion brand, all right, and you're thinking about hiring a new email marketing freelancer or a new email marketing agency, which one are you going to be more attracted to? Are you going to be more attracted to the D2C brand increasing their sales with email marketing, where you've already seen this person, people like this cold emailing you all the time for years, or you come across somebody like this that's mostly focused just on fashion brands, okay? It's going to attract that ICP way more to you, okay? Now, in my experience, when I go over this is where people get stuck, all right? They're like, okay, this makes sense, but how do I niche down, Will? And so I want to give you a few ideas, all right? The first thing to do is I would go and look at your current clients, all right? If the current clients where you've gotten the best results for. You know, one of my students in my school community, he realized it was pet brands. Another one of my students realized it was like this very niche health segment, okay? Like super niche health segment. But once he niched down and did this, he was able to sign like 3 or 4 more clients in the next like 5 weeks doing this, okay? So start with the current clients that you're working with that you're already getting results with, okay? But if you're still stuck, I want to give you some ideas, all right? And there's basically like 5 or 10 ways you can niche down, all right? You can niche down. My favorite is by platform, but you can also niche down by brand position, traffic source, buyer types, problems, revenue level, market, location, outcomes, team structure, and compliance levels, okay? And guys, if you're still lost, I have even more good news for you. I have an entire document that you can, that I'll link in the description below, that gives you ideas on how, like, what platform to choose, what market to choose, what revenue level, what location, what problems to focus on, dreams, buyer types, team structures, traffic sources, compliance, brand position. So here's like the 5 or 10 ideas, okay? And I'm going to do a live demonstration of how I can niche down with these 1,000+ ideas, okay? So let's say I came up with one here, fashion brands. So instead of that, I'm going to, let me just do it real quick. Do a little text box here. Okay, so let's do 3 real-time examples using my example, okay? So we'll start with, my favorite thing to do, guys, is pick like 3 or 4 of these and help them. I mean, first off, go back and look at your current clients and see if there's any trends across your current clients in these positioning ideas. If not, you could just sort of do it here. But here's one right here. We help. I'm going to choose Braze. I'm going to choose airlines, and I'm going to choose, let's say, customer journey. Okay. I help airlines using Braze optimize their customer journeys. Okay. So this is not amazing, but it's already much more clear than I help D2C brands increase their sales with email marketing. Okay. It's like very specific who it's going after. It's a very specific platform, and it's a very specific customer journey. And guess what, guys? Airlines are enterprise, maybe mid-market customers. So you sign one airline company to help them with Braze optimizing their customer journey. That's like probably a $5,000 to $10,000 engagement a month. Okay. So that's one example right away of how you can niche down. I've never worked in the airline niche, so I don't know it that well, but that, again, I just shooting off the cuff. I did this in like 30 seconds. Okay. Let's do another one. Okay. Let's switch it up a little bit. So, let's do subscriptions. Let's do lifecycle manager, right? Director of lifecycle manager, and let's do Meta ads or Facebook ads. Okay, so I help directors of lifecycle optimize. Directors of lifecycle working at large brands driving traffic with Meta optimize their subscription flows. Okay, again, this is not great. If I really wanted to build my business around this, I would run this through ChatGPT and get much more clear with it and come up with something following this formula. But this is like, again, I'm looking for like that first inspiration. Okay, so that's the second one I did. All right, and let's do one more. Okay, let's do this. Okay, so we'll do Amazon native brands. We'll do platform, Klaviyo, and we'll do campaigns, because I know this one. Okay, so I help Amazon native D2C brands that have no campaign or email strategy increase their sales. They have no campaign or lifecycle strategy increase their sales with email marketing. All right. So then you're mostly going after brands that are mostly selling on Amazon and don't have an email marketing presence. Okay. So here's 3 examples, guys. Okay. And this took me literally like 30 seconds. All right. With this little worksheet I have. Again, it's not, I would spend a little bit more time doing due diligence on it. But once I found like one good idea that I really liked, that I felt like I could add value in that market, I would then run it through this formula. I'd be like, okay, like this is already giving like a differentiated headline, but what are the problems? Like, what are the unique problems for airlines that use Braze, or life cycle marketing, directors of life cycle. They're working at large brands that have a lot of, that are driving traffic through Meta and have a lot of subscription flows. Okay. What are the unique problems of Amazon native brands that have no email marketing strategy? Okay. So I would do a lot more deep research on that and come up with like, what is the clear problem and how could we be different in that market? Okay. So I hope this helped. I'll link to the description below, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care.